Oh, we're on the wrong one. We're on the right one. Hey, how you doing? It's me, San Martin, and I'm here at the B.A.W.B Chronicles, and we are on episode number 5,545 and going strong. Just kidding, we're not that many, but it feels like we're getting really, really great momentum. But you guys want to stay here because we have a special guest, and it has to do with something like this, and it might be doing the buzz around town. But wait for it. I've been down there, looking for the silver lining, but no matter what, we always find it. So maybe you should just get lost. Oh my gosh. And as you guys know, we always have special guests around here. And as you can see on the screen right now, it's the famous and most, wait, I'll let her do all the introduction. But wait, I got to say hi to the host with the most.
Hi guys, welcome to episode, I don't know, would you say 5,000 and something?
555.
Of B.A.W.B Chronicles. I'm excited today because not only is Jen famous in Prescott, but she's one of my best friends. So it'll be really fun to talk to her today.
Yes.
So, all right, I'll do the San Martin. So tell us who you are and what makes you famous.
Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
You guys know who I am, but the rest of you might not. My name's Jen Herbert, and along with my husband, Jeff, we own and operate the Superstition Meadery. And if you haven't heard of us, we have two locations. One in downtown Prescott, which is a mead and cider tasting room, along with small tidbits to eat. And then we have a large-scale restaurant and tasting room in Phoenix as well.
That is so amazing.
All right, before we go any further,
Okay.
because shockingly, there are still some people out there, because I feel like you have brought mead back to the world.
It's really hard to believe.
10 years ago, I
People
never
don't
heard
know
of
what
it,
it is.
but some people still don't know what it is. Tell us what mead is.
Sure. So mead is technically a wine. And if you've ever watched Vikings or any shows about Romans or Robin Hood, mead is the drink of choice from kind of ancient times. It is fermented honey. So rather than fermenting grapes, back in the day, people fermented honey because it was easy to come by. You didn't have to wait for a growing season. You could travel around and find where the bees were producing honey kind of year round. And it was easily fermented. There's like beautiful proteins and aromas and lots of sugar to ferment. And what is created are some of these things we're going to talk about today.
And this looks amazing. And as you guys know, here on the B.A.W Chronicles, we love to talk about obviously drinking the wine, but today we have meads, which is considered a wine, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And as you guys all know, you can ask questions as you show up. If you have any kind of like things that you want to go ahead and like be inspired to ask us, just ask us. We're going to be right here. But we're tasting some mead.
Right.
So I want you to talk about this series that you did. But first of all, can you tell us, what did you just wake up one day and say, I want to start making mead? How did that seriously, how did that become a thing? Did you taste some?
I'd never even had it. I actually had never heard of it. Like most people, I had no idea what it was. And my husband was into home brewing. And one day he came up to me and just said, hey, I'm going to make a mead. And I was like, that sounds amazing. And, we always say the word amazing, which I do have just a really quick tidbit on the word amazing. Back in the day, mead was drunk out of a vessel called a mazer. And a person who was a mead maker was also called a mazer rather than a brewer or vintner. They were called mazers. And the word amazing actually comes from being drunk on mead. So when you compare something that's absolutely wonderful in your life and you say it's amazing, you're comparing it to drinking mead.
I'm not drunk. I'm amazing.
I'm just amazed. So it's a really fun word.
You got
People
me.
say all the, and
I was this old.
Yeah.
I was this old when I felt that I wanted to be amazing
See how
today.
much you learn on the B.A.W Chronicles?
Yes.
So it's a really fun word. So going back to the story,
Okay.
Jeff, I make, as you know, this humongous Thanksgiving dinner. I make everything from scratch. And about, I don't know when it was, 11, 12, 13 years ago, he was going to make the mead that we drank with the dinner. And so it was a maple mead. I'm from the Northeast and I love maple syrup. So he made his first mead was a maple mead. And when we tried it, we couldn't believe how delicious it was. It was perfect. It took him about 18 months to make it. It took a long time for it to age out.
Wow.
Because we didn't really know what we were doing then.
Yeah.
Now we can make a mead in about 3 weeks. That tastes really great. So he started playing around, like the meads were better than the beers that he was making. So we started playing around with different flavors, basically like all homebrewers in our front yard. People would stop. What are you doing? Why are you cooking things in your front yard?
Yeah.
So it was
I'm barbecuing.
and the kids were involved and the neighbors would come over and our friends would come over. And
way to hide it. You're
I
like,
know,
don't worry about us.
Yeah, just ignore that. So people started telling us, you should sell this. It's so great. And you can't just sell alcohol. So we looked into how to start a winery and we got involved. And then we had moved to Prescott and got introduced to Dave and Linda Bonham, who used to own the Tough Country Trails winery in Skull Valley. And so we brought some mead out to them, became really good friends with them. And they said, hey, let's sell this here. So you can work under our winery license. So we actually started working in a winery. We were their apprentices and they introduced us to a lot of people in the industry. This was, about 10 years ago, introduced us to people in the industry. And we kind of just went from there and people loved it. We were easily able to sell everything we made. And so we decided to open up our own tasting room. And then we opened up a production facility out at the Phoenix Air Park. And now we are international. We're selling meat around the world and around the country and the state.
All in under 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so huge. Yeah. I was actually looking into all the accomplishments. There is actually a page over here. And before we actually get into this page, I want to go ahead and actually do a toast and let's taste this real quick. What do we have here?
Okay, so.
And I cheated. I already tasted it.
I know, I didn't taste it.
I didn't though. I didn't. So we're going to have a live reaction.
So we've made about 300 different varieties of mead. And what we have recently released are we're calling the Terroir Series. And what that is we are experiencing different honeys from around the state of Arizona. So this is all Arizona honey, all made from local beekeepers from around the state. And each bottle that we made 9 different ones. And then we also did a blend of all 9 into make a 10th bottle. And the first bottle that we're going to try is called Telegraph Pass, and Telegraph Pass is in Yuma. And when you look at the bottle, and I think it's this one because this is the one we already poured.
Yeah.
There's a topographic map of where the bees have traveled to acquire this honey, and all of this honey is made from orange blossoms.
You guys see that? It's a very cool label. It's a topo map.
Right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
And on the label, we have 3 different categories or like classifications of what we feel this mead is. What is the sweetness? What is the floral notes? And then what is the terroir? Like, how does this really show the type of honey that it is? So in this specific example,
and you're calling this orange blossom.
Yeah. So that means about 80% of the pollen that was collected came from orange blossoms in, the Yuma Valley area, which is Colorado River. And so
it's delicious.
It's the only time we've ever used orange blossom honey. It's very expensive, so we don't use it a lot. We generally use.
Well, let's get this.
So let's see if we can taste.
And I already tasted it.
So delicious, you guys.
First of all, do you do the drinking as if it was a wine? Do you still, twirl
You
it?
can.
And then snip it and then.
Yeah. Does mead aerate like a
It
wine?
absolutely does. And the other thing that's nice about mead is you can cork this back up and drink it at a later date. The sweeter meads don't last as long as the drier things do, but they'll last about a month in the fridge and not really change that much. And if they do, it's very slight oxidation, which is something that you want in a mead. It makes it kind of smooths out the edges if there's any kind of, alcohol.
This one is already as smooth as can be.
Yeah.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
It is. Okay.
I want to drink this with like a spicy Asian dish.
Yeah, and we do mead and food pairing. Like a lot of times we have a sell sheet and it'll say, what will this pair nicely, or what do we think it'll pair nicely with? And a lot of the more traditional meads, so these are considered traditional meads. They are only honey and water. They're not aged in any special barrels. There's no additives. There's no other flavors. This is just honey.
Straight up
So
mead.
you're getting,
That is so crazy.
this is a traditional series. So
Because you guys do a lot of
crazy stuff.
traditional.
Yeah.
There's the PB&J.
I was going to bring that one because we did a
It's a
new
favorite.
version.
There's
Yeah.
the maple. There's all the berries. You've got
Every
all the-
berry you can think of.
And I mean, they've come up with some crazy. What was my favorite last year? The pecan.
Oh no, it's pistachio.
Oh, that was so
I'm going to interrupt you guys right now.
now.
If you think that there is no alcohol in here and you start drinking this, I mean, I'm going to have to do
No, it's an easy drinker, huh?
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I'm like,
Oh.
It'll sneak up on you because you
What the
a lot of
frick?
them they don't taste alcohol.
there, yeah,
What
there's
is
there
the alcohol?
definitely is a
They're about
problem.
13. This should be
Okay, so like a wine.
Yeah, or actually this one says it's I can't see. It's too
10.
small. 10. Okay.
10.8.
All right, and then this
Okay.
one, all of the this one's 11.5. The one we're
Okay.
drinking. So it depends on how long we fermented it for and
Okay.
how much
That
sugar
is so
we use. Yeah.
insane.
Mm.
Okay, so a couple of questions about the whole like production of the meadery, the mead, right? It's
Right.
mead. When you go through the actual process, I mean, you said that it took him the first time 18 weeks. How did you shrink that
18
process?
months.
18
Yeah.
months.
18 months.
Now you shrink it down to
So,
3 weeks.
When you're a home brewer, you read stuff on how to home brew, and everyone tells you, there's all examples, and there's not a lot about mead making out there. There is now, but when we first
Yeah.
started, there really wasn't that much information. And everyone said, like, don't agitate it, leave it alone, like, don't stir it up, don't, add oxygen. You don't want it to oxidize. And so we did that. And what we realized is that is not how to make it taste good, because what happens is the yeast gets stressed. And when it's stressed, it creates off flavors. Different alcohols are produced that are strong fusel alcohols, which is when you taste alcohol, you're like, woo!
You turn into a mad chemist, huh?
Yeah,
You're just like,
yeah.
what?
Very scientific. And then also, if they're oxygen starved, they're also in distress. So just like any organism, yeast needs oxygen to metabolize. So stirring, it's actually a good thing because the
Okay.
byproduct of fermentation is alcohol and CO2.
Right.
So if you don't stir off the carbon dioxide, it's a poison. And so we learned that if you do stir it up and you add oxygen and degas and add nutrients and feed the yeast and treat it like you want it to grow and be, you want it to do its thing rather
Right.
than just letting it sit there in a dirty barrel, which is what happens. You end up with this huge film. Like it's
That's so funny.
So we didn't know. I mean, we weren't commercial. We were
Right.
home brewers with the internet was probably barely even a thing back then.
Right.
So we learned through trial and error, and then using different yeast strains. Like we didn't know what yeast to use. So we trialed different yeast with different honeys and different additives, like different ways of feeding and degassing and adding the oxygen, which are all common practice now. Before they weren't. So when you taste, certain people have tried mead and they're like, I've had it, I don't like it. And I'm like, that's because you probably have had it before these new practices came about.
Yeah.
You probably had the old style that took a long time for the different alcohols to degrade.
So moral of the story, stir it up.
Stir it up.
Stir it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
love
obviously
it.
read a little bit about you guys in general. You guys have accomplished a lot of things. I noticed that it was talking about mead, but wine. You had to classify your business as a wine.
Yes.
And in doing so, you ended up coming up with the title of the fastest growing or the best one. I mean, tell us a little bit about this accomplishment,
Lots
because
of
this is
things
huge.
have come out of it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. We moved really fast with what we were doing, and it was because of the interest in it. So we outgrew our little space in downtown Prescott for production really fast, and we applied for an SBA loan to expand production out at the air park, where we have a very large scale operation going right now. And in that, we had to apply for loans. And as just mom and pop, I mean, we're mom and pop, we don't have any investors. It's just my husband and myself, and our kids helped us along the way. And in doing that, we got a little bit of notoriety through the SBA, because we had SBA loans, and they were really interested in what we were doing, and they recommended us to be like the business persons of the year. And to do that, you have to check all the boxes. You have to export, you have to employ and maintain, and every year increase your employee numbers, and you have to make a certain amount of money, and you have to have SBA loans and SBA assistance. So we work really closely with our local small business development group, who really helped us get off the ground and get us noticed more in a national level. And in doing that, we also became the largest winery in the state of Arizona. And I don't want to get into the weeds with it, but in Arizona, wineries are only allowed to produce 40,000 gallons of wine a year. Otherwise, you have to get a different license, which allows you to expand exponentially, but you can't have tasting rooms anymore. And the tasting rooms are bread and butter. No one's going to buy something they can't try.
Right.
And it's expensive. So people don't want to just, oh, this looks a nice label, I'm going to buy it.
Right.
They want to try it. So we have 2 places where you can go to try, and other places. I mean, we have stuff here at the Back Alley Wine Bar that you can try. And a lot of local places are doing flights, and you can buy a glass of it. But in order to really promote it and sell it, we wanted to maintain the tasting room privilege with the smaller license. So what we did was, to get around that 40,000 gallon a year, we have multiple winery licenses. And so we have different lines. So like that's a nice segue into our cans. These are all session meads. They're all about 6%. And all of our canning is under a different winery license. So because we just make too much, and it stunts our growth. The way the Arizona laws are written, it stunts our
That
growth.
is so crazy.
That is
Way
crazy.
to find.
Change the rules.
Well, we are. There is a
Okay.
lobby right now with the Arizona Wine Growers Association to have that limit go up to 100,000 gallons per winery.
Wow.
So,
And then briefly, what makes a mead a session mead?
anything under 6%.
Okay,
Or
so-
7%.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just a lighter alcohol.
It's a lighter. all of the canned meads are all sparkling. They're all
Ooh.
carbonated, so they're really fun, and they're all inspired by
Love it.
different fun things you can do. So like the B.A.W.B
Mimosa.
is a mimosa inspired mead. It's orange
So-
juice and honey.
I've tried this. Where did I try it? With
Probably at
you?
my house.
It's good. It does. It's
And
They're
yeah.
friends.
And
It's a sweet mimosa.
It's carbonated, so it really tastes like a mimosa, and it's about the same percent alcohol by the time you've watered down your champagne, the 6%, and the orange juice. So that's really crushable. You can drink that.
This is
I like the
okay.
look.
So once again, I'm telling you guys that this is so tasty that you will not even know
It's
it's
really
alcohol.
good. The other thing, if you're here in Prescott and you have not been to their tasting room, it's very cool. It kind of has a back alley wine bar vibe. It's
It
got
does.
like the brick. It's down in the basement, which I think is kind of cool. It's very cozy, lots of really cool like wood tones, and it's just an absolutely beautiful tasting room. It's one of the more hipper places.
Yeah, we were
It's like,
talking
you know?
about it this morning. We're like, it's in the Burmeister building, right?
Yes.
Is the Burmeister? Okay, so the Burmeister building, if you're looking at it from the south, looking north, facing the courthouse, you'll see it right there with the Spice Traveler.
Yep. It's a
Yeah,
Spice
Spice
Traveler.
Traveler.
You enter there, and you do a couple extra knocks, and then all of a sudden you walk downstairs. You walk
There's no
downstairs.
secret knock.
There's no secret knock.
But we were trying to give it a speakeasy feel.
It
is
very much like it.
speakeasy-ish.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's a
Yeah,
very cool vibe.
that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like
Yeah.
you just walk in and you're just like, oh, Spice Traveler. Then you just walk just a little bit longer,
What's down
and then
there?
walk down the stairs, and then boom, there you guys have it. It's
and
gonna
if
be
you
a
live
pretty.
in Phoenix, you guys, we call it Superstition Downtown.
Mhm.
This building is so beautiful. They actually just won an award for their architecture.
Yeah.
It
Historic
is stunningly
preservation.
beautiful. Jen designed it herself. And the menu is phenomenal. We had kind of one of everything.
Yeah, we're
actually.
kind of picky.
But the menu's amazing. It's more than just little bites. It's a full menu, and they pair it with the meads. And if you guys haven't checked it out, seriously, look it up online. You need to hit that. Or if you're up here in Prescott and you're down the valley, you got to go to Superstition Downtown.
So do you have two business pages for two different accounts, or is for the Phoenix one?
I think on our website, you pick the location. So it's like
Okay.
Prescott downtown.
I'm just going to go ahead and put the scrolling thing on the bottom so you guys can
Sure.
go ahead and find out that
I like
website.
The cat's claw too.
All right, let's try I haven't
like
tried
these.
this yet.
So I have to tell you, this is probably the first time that I've just tasted like a naked mead. You know, because there's always so many fun flavors.
Yeah, so the cat's.
So I like this, just plain naked mead.
You guys know what cat's claw is. We were just talking about this.
Yes,
That weed, that bio weed that will just,
when you're on the trail.
Yeah, and your arms.
And clings to you.
And so cat's claw honey is pretty prolific in the state of Arizona. It's really, we've gotten a cat's claw from other local beekeepers for some other meads that we've done. And it's easy to work with. And it just comes from that teeny little flower on the cat's claw.
So it's funny because you call it the Terroir Series, because we use that word a lot in wine.
Right.
As a lot of you know, we've talked about it. Because you can grow the exact same grape in a different climate, in different earth, in different soils, and it tastes completely different.
Right.
So that's kind of what you're going for here, correct? Yeah. Like this was honey from Telegraph Pass. This is from
Oracle.
Heather says that she needs to go to Phoenix and try all the sexy foods. she didn't say the good food. She said the sexy food.
The whole place is sexy.
It really is. It is.
I want to, every time we go to Phoenix,
it's beautiful.
We're like, where should we go to eat? And I'm like, I just want to go to my place.
No, I would too. It's amazing.
That is so funny. Okay, let me see if I could do location.
Yeah.
They say location. Let me see if I could go ahead and have a little bit of a picture for that for you guys.
That'd be great.
Okay, so we love to also, you know, like educate you guys about how to drink wine. Is there a special way to drink this wine? I mean, like, do you have to eat it with food? Do you have to like drink a full bottle? Do you have to like enjoy? I mean, guys, this tastes.
To drink a full bottle.
I mean, you can. I'm not going to say don't.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, the way we serve the flights, and it's very similar to the way you would do a wine flight, is you start with the driest and then you move to the sweetest, because once you start going backwards, it's, you know, you might get some off flavors. And we also make hard cider. And so we do start with the ciders because they're generally more tart than the meads are. And we do make, I mean, everyone thinks that honey wine is going to be sweet. These are sweet and semi-sweet wines for sure. But we also make some very dry. Yeah, the food.
We got some photos, a little bit of photos and pictures.
These are overly, you know, people talk about dessert wines
and cloying
or like a port. These are not, these are balanced.
Yeah. Okay. I have to agree that looks like some sexy food.
It's food porn. It is.
Oh my gosh. Really I'm going to point out it here. What is this right here? 7, I don't know. Nigeria.
Oh, it might be our sushi night. We made a beet nigiri.
Nigiri, that's what the word was.
Yeah, so we did make it. We try and have some vegetarian, vegan options as well, because our general manager is vegetarian, and there's a lot of people. And I like to eat vegetarian, but we also have.
What about gluten free?
Some gluten free things as well. Yeah, and meat is gluten free naturally. So that's another thing. If we have a lot of people that don't want to drink beer because of the gluten, whatever the residual gluten, all of our things are naturally gluten-free. They're not vegan.
So crazy. Look at that lamb. That's lamb right there, right?
Lamb, and then the dessert we make.
I think I had the rack of lamb actually when I was
there. The best creme brulee probably in the world. We use a honey in the creme brulee. We try and infuse a little bit of honey and mead aspects.
Screenshot that right now. Hurry up and screenshot that. You can go ahead and find out that location downtown, East Washington Street, Phoenix, Arizona. That is so cool. Congratulations on that.
So this is the Pioneer Blend. So this is all of the 9 honeys that you collected from around the state put into one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I haven't tried this one. I'm excited to try it.
All right, let's taste.
Oh, hey, and the thing is, guys, I asked a question. You guys probably are all out there wondering: is this help with allergies?
Seriously, no, it's a valid
question. She came up with a great thing that I didn't know. I was this old and this tall when I found this out. Tell everybody a little bit about the chemistry that happens in honey.
Sure. Honey, honey is also a known antibiotic. So it's like the natural healing remedy. And the reason is because there is micro-oxidation that produces hydrogen peroxide. And so that is like the one of the reasons they think there's also proteins and amino acids in honey that are, all naturally produced through the amazing work these bees do. All the honeys that are coming from around the state, people often ask us, is it you help with your allergies? And we like to say yes. I mean, I don't probably drink enough to know for sure, but that when you
beg to differ.
I'm just trying to,
I'm very healthy and I have no allergies for some crazy reason.
But the honey is all, all of the honey that we use is from Arizona, except for in the cans. So any kind of localized, like especially now with this Terroir Series.
Are we okay? We went dark up there.
Oh, yeah, no, we're okay.
Okay.
It actually just, that one shuts off.
Sorry.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't see myself anymore.
Oh, here, I'm sorry,
There.
guys. There you go. I should put up another little screen right there so you guys
like
can.
a big one.
Yeah, I want to see us on the big screen.
So all of the honey in our bottled meads is from different flowers from around the state. And so we, in general, only use local honey.
Okay, so just what do they call it? For your information over there, for your FYI. Oh my gosh, I almost had it right the first time. Anyways, this tastes phenomenal. I really,
guys,
this is
so good.
This is a little like a bad thing. A bad thing.
This one's really good. I think my
Can you put
favorite
ice
is
in it?
the orange blossom.
You can ice it; it'll just water it down. One thing I like to do.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I started being creative in my head. I was like,
these are so delicious.
We serve them at wine temperatures. You can refrigerate them. Anything that's corked, of course, you're going to lay on the side. But a lot of our bottles have a flip top on them, like a Kolsch bottle, the flip tops.
Yeah.
So some of them have a crown cap, and then on the side is a flip top. And those flip tops will last years, just upright. We have meads that we've had open in our fridge for like 5 years. I'm not kidding. And you pop them open and they taste great.
That is so
So
crazy.
the flip tops will keep the mead.
Okay, what were you asking in a second? You said something about, what were you saying?
I just said, I think that my favorite is the orange blossom. But these are so delicious. They're so easy to drink. Sometimes, I don't know, you think mead as in super sweet. These are these are beautiful wines. I love these. And I also want to say one of our best sellers here at the Back Alley Wine Bar is the Spaceship Box Blueberry Cider.
Yes.
Which is made by them. And it tastes like a glass of crushed blueberries, but we sell the crap out of it. People love it.
It's our best seller.
Is it really? I have up on the board. It's #1 in the universe.
It is #1.
Number one.
It really did.
Costco didn't like it when we said that. They thought it was a little presumptuous, but it is the #1 cider. If you guys are into Untapped and Rate Beer, if you check the Untapped account.
Where's it at up there?
It's on the right.
Okay.
Blueberry Space.
Space Box Cider. Yeah, it is.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're not a wine drinker, come in and have a glass of the blueberry.
So Heather is asking, so San Martin, are you feeling a little warm and fuzzy inside now? I sure am. I mean, it is actually really good, and it's kind of scary because, I mean, obviously with 15% of alcohol, it's going to be one of those like, just take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people have like a scenario with
It's
sugars.
the same as wine.
Okay, you know how some people are like, oh, I don't want high blood pressure, or they have to stay away from the sugars. What kind of
sugar content?
Yeah, is it really high?
No. So what the yeast, in order to create the alcohol, you ferment the sugar out of whatever your mixture is. So we mix honey and water. All of our base meads are made out of honey and water and yeast. And whatever the percent honey to water is, we know how much, yeast to pitch and how many nutrients. We want to ferment most of our things dry, which means all of the sugar's been fermented out of the liquid, and all that's left is the beautiful floral flavor. You can taste the honey. It tastes sweet, but it's because of the flavor.
Yeah.
Now we don't ferment everything dry, and a lot of things we will back sweeten, or we'll add some fruit juice. So it'd be whatever's, and all of that's very diluted.
Right.
It's mostly water.
So Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but this is the address right here. Screenshot it right now, and you can be able to find it out there in Phoenix, Arizona. He says that he or she loves the one here in Prescott. They want to know what the one in Phoenix is so they could go to it.
It's like Prescott on steroids.
Yes. And if you look at the bottom right now, you can go ahead and see the website. So you guys can go ahead and find that out all that information right there on the
It's actually
website.
been a year because my
Yes.
Facebook memory popped up. I think it was this morning or yesterday.
It was the second.
Oh,
Okay,
it's an actual. They live in Phoenix, so they
Oh.
say every time they come to
Okay.
Prescott, they actually visit your place.
Oh, fun.
So
now
right
I
on.
know where the
I don't know who the
Phoenix
Facebook user is, but
And we're right on
That's
the
awesome.
light rail. So we're on East Lake exit, whatever that.
They're
whatever.
right near the state. I still call it Bob. It's not Bob anymore.
Yeah, the baseball
the
stadium,
baseball
whatever
stadium.
the baseball stadium's
Okay.
called now.
Yeah.
Whichever company
Okay.
owns it now.
Yeah, we're about a quarter mile from downtown on the light rail. So it's kind of fun. We're trying to promote responsible drinking and hoping people will use the light rail. We also have bike racks so you can bike down.
wait, I don't think that's still legal. People
know.
get pulled over on the bike. Just don't drink and drive. Period.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be awful. So
That would
one big thing about this location is that they have a lot of entertainment and obviously a lot of great drinks. So do you have any events going on here locally or even in Phoenix that you want anybody to know about?
Right now, what we're promoting, we do have a guild membership. It's like a wine club, and it's full this year, but it will open it back up, I think, on December 1st. And we do a guild dinner that only guild members are invited to. And so a lot of that beautiful food you see we're going to have down in Phoenix for a special guild dinner
Nice.
on November.
I think we needed to do a show there or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
We do. We should go.
Are we like a special
We
invite?
always talk about being on
You-
location. Let's go.
Right. All right.
All right.
You keep
Here,
listening.
have a
Yeah.
couple
I
more.
know, right?
She'll be a little bit more like, hey, come on, let's go.
So that is our next event. We also do a really fun thing where we only release this series. It's called the White Series, and it's all white chocolate meats. And we do a blueberry, a blackberry, a raspberry, and a strawberry,
And
and
they're
then
delicious.
and then a specialty one. Like Sherry's favorite thing last year was the pistachio.
Oh, it's so good.
And then we did a coffee this year. And a
I'm so
mulberry.
hungry right now. I'm like, oh my
Right.
gosh.
Are
I've-
you still doing, for the people that know you, they know Berry White Day.
Right.
Are you still going to be doing that? I know
Yeah,
last
so
year-
last year was a mess, and
Yeah.
we flip-flopped our guild dinner with our Berry White Day, and we're gonna put it
Okay.
back to what it was. So we usually did Berry White in November and our guild
Yeah.
in March, and so we had to flip-flop it because of COVID, and then
Okay.
we're gonna go back to that. And it's, I mean, to make the White Series, we do barrel age all of the series in oak, so it takes a long time to make that. So we really have to plan ahead to make sure that everything's aged the way we want it to. We do a lot of barrel aging. I'd say at least half of our meats are barrel aged,
That's
and so
cool.
they take a long time.
Yeah.
So we have to really plan ahead.
And just imagine you guys were just
And
like
those are fantastic.
experimenting
I know. We're
in
just
your
like-
front yard with your children.
Like less than a decade later, look where they are.
I know this
No,
is
it
so.
really is.
This is a
It's
success story.
really- it is a success story. a
Yeah,
huge
coming
one.
out of Prescott, Arizona. I mean,
Very
are you guys
inspiring.
from Prescott? I mean, I know you said you
No.
were back Middle East.
Yeah, we lived
Middle East.
No, we're not.
Middle.
Midwest.
The
Northeast.
Northeast. So yeah, I
Northeast?
grew up in Massachusetts and Vermont, and my husband's from Maryland. And we moved out to Arizona in '93 together. Everyone's like, "Why'd you move to Arizona?" I'm like, "Because a boy."
For a boy.
So, anyways, we're
Seemed to work
married.
out, though.
Hmm?
It worked out,
It did work
though.
out. It's all good.
Yeah,
So
we're still working
we're
out.
still having fun together. So when we moved to Arizona in '93, one of the first places we came up to was Prescott. You know, we wanted to see the state, and I just kept telling him, I want to move there. I love it there. Please, can we move there? But of course, we were in the middle of our careers, and
Right.
we weren't even married yet. No kids. So once we had kids, we made it a mission to move up here. So we moved up here in 2011.
Oh gosh,
So we've been here
right
for
on.
10 years,
Nice.
and
What a
really
great
good.
addition
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Prescott. I mean, like
I know.
to have so many success stories, and then when you guys became worldwide known, I actually heard it because we would go to a liquor deli, and your whole team would be there, and it would be like, this is who we are. Don't you know who we are? I'm getting ready to go on a plane to go blah blah blah. I was like, okay.
We actually just got back from Copenhagen to one of the world's most prominent beer celebrations, and we're one of the top. We're one of the top things at this celebration. It's in Copenhagen every year. It's called the McKellar Beer Celebration.
How
Copenhagen.
fun.
And so we
Wow,
just got
see?
back from that. And it's funny because when we first went, we had no lines. It's all booze. It's like 100 breweries or 120 breweries. And people would run in and run, and there'd be a line. And Jeff and I'd just be like, it's free. you can come over here and try it. And go, no. And now that was our first year, maybe 7 years ago. And now when people come in, they run to our line and we're like, fine, we've made it.
I love it.
So we have
That's
a
so cool.
That is
constant
crazy.
line, and people are like, oh, you're like our most favorite thing, and we're so happy you come, and we wait out every year for you guys to come, and it's pretty cool.
That
I think
is
it's
cool.
That
Yeah.
you literally
Congratulations.
put mead back on the map now, because I'm seeing other
Yeah.
meaderies pop up.
So many
And
new
more and
So
more people
far
are
on
knowing
the
what
map,
it is. It's cool.
Okay,
And
so
you put Prescott on the map.
I
love
know.
that you're located.
I'm going to say something
here.
right now.
Okay.
It says this, okay? I'm
Okay.
just going to say they put it on the map. This is a really, this is actually said right here. Mead is the world's oldest fermented beverage, with scientific analysts of ancient vessels dating mead back to at least 9,000 years ago from China, and references to mead appearing throughout ancient texts like the Indian Vedas and the Welsh. I can't even say that word, but it's far off land. And she says they're putting it back on the map. I freaking love this.
We have a mission
Your state's
statement.
cool.
When we
Yes.
first started, it was now watch, I'll probably forget it. It was to reintroduce the world's oldest fermented beverage back to society. That was our mission 10 years ago. It was like the first thing in our business plan. Like, let's do
It
it.
succeeded.
And it's been a long road, but we're getting
Oh,
there.
that
And
is
a lot of people
huge.
are following our lead. We had so many people in Denmark come up to us and say, try this. You want to try our mead? You inspired us to make mead. And we
I love
tried.
that.
I mean, I probably tried 10 different home brews of mead from 10 different people that sought us out, tried to like get our attention, like try our mead, tell us what you think.
Trying to
I
get
love
you
that.
their
Yeah.
one single cut. They're like,
Yeah, I know.
come
like,
on, you're the
and we
big
had
dogs.
other meaderies mead at our table because they didn't have, quite the fanfare that we did. And we
Yeah.
would say, would you like to try this mead? It's from the Ukraine, or this is from Russia. Or so we did pour some other people's meads just to kind of spread the love. And
Yeah.
I know of 2 people specifically in Denmark, and he was either from Norway or Sweden, or actually there's 3 now that have commercial meaderies after
Yeah.
talking to us, and they said we inspired them to do a commercial meadery.
That's
That
so
is
cool.
that is so
I
cool.
love that.
How about to be so like inspirational to the world in general is a really big accomplishment. And once again, we step back and be like, we were just in our front yard trying.
I know,
things.
like running around in our bathing suits, like making stuff, jumping in the pool.
Don't worry about us. That's just a cooker for beer, and now we're moving on to other things. And the best part about it is that the honey is, and I feel like it actually is a healing thing, because if you have
yes. It has many
allergies,
healing properties.
you get the honey from the local land, because they're
Right.
obviously doing the
It's
pollinating.
also considered the original aphrodisiac.
Oh.
So
That's why she's saying
There
it's
you go.
sexy.
it's
That's
sexy.
right. Yeah.
You're bringing sexy back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
guys.
There you go.
I'm like, can I get a couple bottles? I'm gonna
Buy
take it over
your
to
baby
the
some
salon.
mead for Christmas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a couple of these bottles over back to the salons, because the girls over there will
Oh,
probably
they will love
really enjoy it.
this.
Oh, good.
They
Do
will
it for
love
sure.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Girls
that's
like
kind of
golfers.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we went totally over our time. I'm like,
Oh
oh my
hello.
gosh. Yeah, we
Oh.
went over
well,
just a
9
measly 10
minutes.
minutes, 20
Okay.
minutes, whatever it
I
may
got
be.
9 minutes, but
We're
Yeah, she
good.
goes, San
We're
Martin
good.
is feeling sexy. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm beautiful. This is beautiful right here, yo.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. But with that being said, tell everybody where to find you and how to go ahead and get a hold of you guys.
You
I mean,
bet.
obviously it's been scrolling on the bottom, just FYI, but
Yes.
go ahead. You can go for it now.
So our 2 locations, Prescott Tasting Room, downtown Phoenix, everything, we have basically everything for sale there. We also have about 24 taps. A lot of things we don't bottle. If you want to try something that you can't buy, you can go to the tasting rooms and try some special things that aren't bottled, which is kind of fun. And also our website, superstitionmeadery.com. And we do ship on Vino Shipper to most states.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, not every state because of their liquor laws, but we do ship, and it makes a really fun gift. We also have a mead club. So if you're interested and you're like, I love this, you can have bottles, our newest releases automatically shipped to you on whatever schedule you want. Once a month, every other month, once every 6 months, whatever you choose. We have all these different membership
Oh,
packages
nice.
too. And so a lot
Wow.
of people will come to Prescott, try it and say, I wish I could take it all home, but I can't. Join the club.
Join the club. You can have this shipped to you.
And the club's what got us through COVID.
Wow.
For real. We made so much money on the club. It kept everyone employed. And
Wow, that's
otherwise,
amazing.
yeah, packaging everything and and it allowed us to make new things. If we didn't have that,
People were stepping up.
yeah, they were. And it was,
Or they were just wanting to get really drunk at
yeah,
home.
well, there's that.
And we were all really bored last year, so we got amazing a
Ooh.
lot.
Right?
I do a PSA public service announcement. We want to know how and what you actually mixed your drinks with. That'll be good. Just saying, hey, what'd you guys do with your mead? I mean, because some people like to concoct.
Oh, we have, we have a guild member. I think her name's Sabrina. Don't kill me. I forget her name exactly. But she will post about once a week during COVID a cocktail that she made with the mead, and she'll describe it. And it was so great. And she would always tag us in it.
Oh, wow.
And really fun. I mean, we have so many different flavors you can make. I like to mix it with beer. I like to take a lot of our berry meads and mix it with like a stout. And then you get this really.
Well, that sounds good.
This is so insane. Okay, for next episode, part 2, make sure you stay here. But we can literally sit all day and talk about this. You know, now it's Sherry's turn. Sherry, tell everybody where we're at, where and everything.
Back Alley Wine Bar in the back alley, right behind the bird cage. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's pizza night. Join us from 5 to 8 for pizza and a glass of wine and beer for $15. Live music on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. Singer-songwriter showcase on Tuesdays. So check us out.
That down.
Yes, she does. She got this.
Wine Bar.
And make sure you follow all the pages. You too,
Yes,
Instagram.
right.
Don't be afraid over there to ask any questions. And by the same time, guys, thank you so very much for being a part of this. This is the first time we've ever done this, guys. Congratulations. That was a very awesome show. With that being said, peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war. I'll see you.